Then things turn colder for all of us. All the details of that and more coming up on Good Morning Britain.
Laura's here with all the details. Morning, Laura. And it's cold this morning. It's definitely feeling wintry. Is that what we're set for now?
A cold night's to come with frost and fog, but some sunshine by day. So that sort of different face of autumn just shows that winter is knocking on the door. Good morning to you. Now, if you have some time as we head through this week, ITV have a new website. This is it. It's called ITV Footprint. And it's always a few days. Now, weather-wise, yes, there was a chill in the air, but it was mild this weekend, but it is set to turn colder as we head through the week. The jet stream battles in, bringing with it wind and rain. It slips southwards as we head through the week, and it's the cold that wins out as we head towards the end of the week, with temperatures set to tumble by day and by night. This is how it looks at the moment, though. Unsettled to start with that wind and rain, then it turns colder and more frost and fog to come. So, first thing this morning, it literally is a tale of two halves. Clear and cold for England and Wales with some frost and fog. Scotland and Northern Ireland, much milder, much cloudier with some outbreaks of rain. And through the day, the cloud starts to thicken through Scotland and Northern Ireland. The rain sets in, then it turns heavier. The winds pick up as well. Gusts of 40 to 45 miles an hour through these northern and western coasts. But further south, England and Wales stay largely fine and dry. The mist and fog lifts, a little damp and drizzly through western areas. But again, mild today. Our temperature's just a nudge above average. As we head through this evening and overnight tonight, there's no major changes. The weather front stays in Scotland and Northern Ireland. It actually stays there tonight and for much of tomorrow as well. But with the clear skies for England and Wales, again, it was set to be a chilly night. Little more cloud, perhaps not quite as cold first thing tomorrow morning. And first thing, yes, some frost and fog in the south, but again, much milder in the north. Then the outlook through tomorrow is slowly seeing the cloud, wind and rain slipping its way southwards, and it's behind this that the colder air arrives. So England and Wales tomorrow, again, largely dry and fine. Scotland and Northern Ireland looking cloudier and wetter. That slips southwards and we see the return of some sunshine, but it turns colder by the end of the week too.
Laura, thanks very much. Good morning, Britain's here.
The weather dominated by a mild start to the week and a cold end for many of us. And it's all down to the orientation of our high and low pressure. Low pressure starts in the northwest, bringing wet and windy weather in the north. But as it moves towards the east, high pressure builds in, and at this time of year, it brings largely fine, dry weather by day, cold, frosty conditions by night, and a much colder feed of air as well, which is why our temperatures are set to tumble. So for the rest of the week, we start off with the wind and rain, and with the colder weather also comes the increased chance of some frost and fog by night. But first thing this morning, we actually have got some frost and fog through southern areas of England and Wales. Temperatures close to freezing for some areas, even below freezing through some parts of East Anglia, but much milder, 6 or 7 degrees to greet us through Scotland and Northern Ireland, thanks to cloud and rain. And it really is a tale of two halves today. England and Wales, the cloud and fog and the mist lifts. A beautiful day, largely dry and bright, but Scotland and Northern Ireland, cloudier, wetter and windier. And it's this that wins out as we head through the coming days, slipping its way southwards. So let's take a look at our 7-day outlook, where our weekend is always in view. And at the moment, for Scotland, Northern Ireland and the far north of England, north of the Humber, here's our average temperature line. Temperatures around about average, but it certainly turns much colder as we head into the weekend. But there's a lot more sunshine symbols than we saw around last week. So percentage chance of rainfall relatively high today and tomorrow with that weather front sitting there. But as it slips its way southwards through the middle of the week, the outlook is for that high pressure to build in and for it to be drier and brighter. So some welcome fine dry news there. The fortunes further south for England and Wales, away from the north of England, so south of the Humber. Average temperature line there, they'll be average at best. It turns much colder by day and by night as we head through the week, particularly into the weekend. And then look at our percentage chance of rainfall. Again, it's not too bad today and tomorrow, sunny spells. The weather front moves through on Wednesday. That's when we get our transition to things turning much colder, and it's the cold that wins out as we head into the weekend. For the weather...
National weather. Boxed boilers.
Good morning to you. Now, the weather this week is starting off mild and it turns much colder. The warm weather that was with us over the weekend just holds on for a few days. Then the jet stream slips south. It brings with it rain, and then it turns colder by the end of the week, the return of frost and fog by night. So that's the theme, really unsettled. But as we head towards the end of the week, we see the frost and fog by night, but at least some sunshine by day. But actually, there will be a lot of it around for England and Wales this morning. It literally is a divided day. England and Wales, it is cold when you step outside this morning. Temperatures close to below freezing for some, but at least it's sunny and the fog that's around will clear. Scotland and Northern Ireland, if it's sunny where you are today, it will cloud over. Then the rain arrives, then the winds pick up. And 10 to 12 degrees, average or just a little above. That wet weather slowly slips its way southwards as we head through this evening and overnight tonight. And for many, it's a repeat performance for tomorrow.
Boxed boilers.
Welcome back to Good Morning Britain. The weather this week starts on a mild note, but then it ends colder. But at least we get to see some sunshine. Wet and windy weather in the northwest for the next few days. That slips southwards, and it's behind that things turn colder. So wetter and windier at first, then turning colder with frost and fog by night. But this morning, it's literally a tale of two halves. England and Wales, fine, sunny, but cold and frosty with some fog. That lifts and clears. Scotland and Northern Ireland, fine to start, then it turns cloudier, it turns wetter, and it turns windier. But with southwesterly winds, temperatures a little above average, 8 to 12 degrees, and then that weather slips its way southward. No major changes from today to tomorrow, staying wetter and windier in the north, fine and sunny in the south. But today, don't forget, it marks 5 years of us welcoming peers into our show, and here's some lovely messages from friends of the show.